The CEO forced an IQ 300 genius to quit for sleeping at work, then the truth shocked everyone. The first time they found him asleep, everyone laughed. The second time, people complained. By the fifth time, executives were demanding answers. And by the 10th? The CEO had run out of patience. Because sleeping at work was one thing. Sleeping during meetings was another. But sleeping while being paid nearly $500,000 a year? That was a problem. A very expensive problem. Especially when the employee in question was considered the smartest person in the company. Maybe the smartest person in the country. His name was Dr. Ethan Cole. Age 34. Theoretical physicist. Artificial intelligence researcher. Holder of 6 doctorates. Creator of technologies worth billions. A man whose IQ was rumored to exceed 300. Whether that number was real hardly mattered anymore. His reputation had become legendary. People described him the same way they described comets. Rare. Brilliant. And difficult to understand. Unfortunately, Ethan also had a habit of falling asleep everywhere. Conference rooms. Laboratories. Video calls. Company events. Once during his own award ceremony. The photograph had become office folklore. At first people tolerated it. After all, Ethan produced more valuable work in a week than entire departments produced in a year. Then things started changing. Deadlines slipped. Meetings were missed. Clients complained. And employees began asking an uncomfortable question. If anyone else behaved this way, would they still have a job? The answer was obvious. No. Which is why CEO Victoria Kane finally called him into her office. On a Monday morning. At 8 a.m. sharp. For once, Ethan arrived on time. Though he looked exhausted. Dark circles under his eyes. Pale skin. Wrinkled shirt. As if sleep itself had become a rumor. Victoria gestured toward a chair. Sit. Ethan sat. Immediately looking like he might fall asleep in it. Not a promising start. Then Victoria folded her hands. We need to talk. I assumed. The answer came quietly. Without defensiveness. Without surprise. That irritated her slightly. Because he already knew. Then she slid a folder across the desk. Attendance reports. Missed meetings. Complaints. Incident logs. A very thick folder. Ethan glanced at it. Then nodded. That's comprehensive. Victoria stared. Do you find this amusing? No. He looked genuinely puzzled. I find it accurate. The honesty caught her off guard. Then she leaned forward. Ethan, what's going on? A long silence followed. Then. I'm tired. Victoria nearly laughed. Tired? Yes. Everyone is tired. Another silence. Then Ethan looked toward the window. And quietly said. Not like this. Something about the way he said it felt different. But Victoria pushed forward. Because she had a company to run. And employees were watching. Rules mattered. Fairness mattered. Then she delivered the ultimatum. You have 2 choices. Ethan listened. Take a leave of absence immediately and provide a medical explanation. A pause. Or resign. The room became still. Then Ethan nodded slowly. As though he'd expected exactly this. Then he reached into his briefcase. Pulled out a folded envelope. And placed it on her desk. Victoria frowned. What is this? My resignation. Silence. For the first time all morning, she looked surprised. You already prepared it? 3 weeks ago. The answer landed heavily. Because it meant he knew this was coming. Then Ethan stood. No argument. No negotiation. No defense. Just acceptance. Then softly he said, "I'm sorry I caused problems." And walked out. The news spread through the company within an hour. By lunchtime, everyone knew. The genius was gone. Some employees celebrated. Others worried. A few felt guilty. But nobody was prepared for what happened next. Because at 4:17 p.m., Victoria received a phone call. One that changed everything. The caller ID showed St. Gabriel Medical Center. She almost ignored it. Almost. Then she answered. Victoria Kane. The voice on the other end sounded careful. Professional. Concerned. "Ms. Kane, I'm calling regarding Dr. Ethan Cole." Her stomach tightened. Immediately. What happened? A pause. Then. He's been admitted to intensive care. The CEO stood so quickly her chair rolled backward. What? The doctor's next sentence drained the color from her face. Dr. Cole wasn't falling asleep because he was irresponsible. Silence. Then. He was dying. The room seemed to disappear around her. What did you say? The doctor continued carefully. He has an extremely rare neurological condition. Victoria couldn't breathe. He continued working despite severe symptoms. Another pause. Frankly, we're surprised he remained functional as long as he did. The CEO gripped the edge of her desk, trying to process what she was hearing. All those meetings. All those incidents. All those moments she'd interpreted as laziness. And the entire time, he had been fighting a disease. Alone. Then she whispered. Why didn't he tell anyone? The doctor sighed. A tired sound. The sound of someone who'd already had this conversation. He was worried people would stop seeing his work and start seeing his illness. Victoria closed her eyes. Because suddenly dozens of memories made sense. The oversized coffee cups. The trembling hands. The weight loss. The exhaustion. The moments she'd noticed but never truly examined. Then the doctor added one final detail. A detail that shocked her more than anything else. Ms. Kane. Yes? Did you know Dr. Cole donated 80% of his salary? Victoria froze. What? Children's hospitals. Silence. He funded treatments for families who couldn't afford them. The CEO sat down slowly. Completely speechless. Because while the company debated whether Ethan deserved his paycheck, he had quietly spent years saving lives. And now, after forcing him out, Victoria realized she knew almost nothing about the man everyone called a genius. Nothing except his mistakes.